Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to install an electric trunk lock drive on my Lada 2007. I'll walk you through the whole process from getting the parts to wiring it all up. Let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into something pretty cool, adding an automatic trunk opening system to our beloved Lada 2107. This is a modification that I've been wanting to do for a while, and let me tell you, the advantages are huge. First off, convenience. Imagine this: you've got your hands full, groceries piled high, maybe even a kid or TWO clinging to your leg. Reaching for that trunk latch is the last thing you want to deal with. With an automatic system, a simple press of a button and bam, your trunk pops open. It's a game changer, especially on those hectic days. Secondly, it adds a touch of modern convenience to a classic car. Let's face it, the Lada 2107 is a legend, but it's not exactly known for its cutting-edge technology. This upgrade brings a little bit of that modern feel without sacrificing the car's original charm. And finally, it's a relatively straightforward modification, even for someone who's not a professional mechanic. I'll show you exactly how I did it, and I promise it's easier than you might think. Now, let's talk about what you'll need to get this project done. You'll need a new electric lock mechanism specifically designed for the VAZ2107 trunk. Make sure you get one that's compatible with your model year, as there might be slight variations. You'll also need a wiring harness, a switch. I recommend a discrete one that fits seamlessly into your existing dashboard, and a power source, which will likely be tapped into your existing car's electrical system. Don't forget some basic tools: screwdrivers, pliers, wire strippers, and electrical tape. It's also a good idea to have a multimeter handy to test the connections and ensure everything is working correctly. Trust me, this will save you a lot of headaches down the line. Now, the actual installation process. This is where things get a little more hands-on. First, you'll need to carefully remove the old manual trunk lock mechanism. This usually involves removing some interior panels and screws. Take your time with this step, and be sure to take pictures or videos as you go so you know how everything goes back together. Once the old mechanism is out, you can install the new electric lock. This typically involves bolting it into place and connecting the wiring harness. Pay close attention to the wiring diagram that comes with your new electric lock. This will ensure you connect everything correctly. Next, you'll need to run the wires from the electric lock to your chosen switch location. This might involve running the wires under the car's carpeting or through existing channels. Again, take your time and be careful not to damage any existing wiring. Once the wires are run, connect them to the switch and the power source. And finally, test everything out. Make sure the switch activates the lock and the trunk opens and closes smoothly. If everything works as it should, you're done. You've successfully installed an automatic trunk opening system on your Lada 2107. Remember to double-check all your connections and secure all the wires to prevent any issues down the road. And that's it. Enjoy the convenience of your newly upgraded Lada 2107. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are tackling something that's been requested a lot: installing an electric trunk lock actuator on my beloved VAZ 2007. This is going to be a game changer, trust me. First up, let's get this actuator installed. Now, this might seem daunting, but I promise it's much easier than you think. We'll start by carefully removing the interior trunk trim. This usually involves unscrewing a few screws and gently prying things loose. Take your time with this part, you don't want to break anything. Once the trim is off, you'll have access to the lock mechanism itself. The actuator will need to be positioned correctly, and this often involves a little bit of fiddling to get the right alignment. Pay close attention to the placement of the actuator arm, making sure it engages properly with the lock mechanism. Securely fasten the actuator using the provided hardware. Remember, a good, tight fit is crucial for reliable operation. We don't want any rattling or loose connections. Take your time and double-check everything before moving on. I'll show you exactly how I did it, step by step, in the video. Next, we'll wire this thing up. This is where things get a little more technical, but don't worry, I'll walk you through it. You'll need to connect the actuator's power and ground wires to a suitable power source. I recommend using a switched power source so the actuator only works when the ignition is on. This prevents accidental drain on your battery. Finding the right wires can be a bit of a puzzle, but I'll show you exactly which wires I used and how I connected them. Remember to use appropriate connectors and ensure all connections are secure and well insulated. A poorly connected wire can lead to all sorts of problems, so take your time and do it right. We'll also be running a wire to a switch, giving us manual control over the trunk release. I'll show you where I placed my switch and how I wired it in. Again, neatness and security are key here. Finally, let's talk about the different ways you can now open your trunk. Obviously, you'll have the key, but now you also have the convenience of the switch we just installed. This is great for quick access. And if you're feeling adventurous, we can even explore some more advanced options, like integrating the system with a remote control or even your car alarm. I'll show you how to test everything out and make sure it's all working perfectly. We'll go through a few different scenarios, opening and closing the trunk using the key, the switch, and even troubleshooting any potential issues. This will give you a complete understanding of how the whole system works. And remember, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them all.